I know you spent a part of your foundation at GE Aerospace across manufacturing operations, engineering, project management, and engine operations. What did that environment really teach you about how complex aerospace systems really work?
Aerospace in itself is complex. I mean, the word is complex in my mind, right? But it really taught me. It really taught me a lot about discipline, standard work, right? Standard work is the main thing that I think really aerospace professionals should really strive for. Because there's a lot of ups and downs aerospace, right? There's many components from beginning to end of it. I think for me, the complexity became easy to solve once I understood how to approach it. What I mean by that is when I got into aerospace, there's two ways to go about it. You can go by yourself and go, or you can go with a team, right? So I started to bridge out my base, so my board of director, like you guys call it, right? My mentor, my sponsors, who's gonna help me get to the next level, who's gonna be my my technical expertise or SME, subject matter expert on different things I did not know about. Um, I think once I understood that aerospace is about regulation, right? Making sure there's no cutting corners, right? If it says 10 inch, it's 10 inch. It's not 10.5. It's really being that discipline in those standard work, having a system that's flexible, right? Keeping the quality there. I mean, quality is number one. You never give up quality or safety when it comes to aerospace. I think I fell in love with aerospace once I understood that it's a multiple piece components, right? There's cross functional involved from a team standpoint. So I spent a lot of my time from supply chain to engineering to quality to program management. It's all one cycle. And I think the complexity become easier to solve once you pocket it in those different spaces, right? Hey, I have an engineering problem, put my Amy aside, deep dive what's going on. Hey, I have a supplier issue. My supplier risk threat is saying that we have a single source, which is dual source. How are we solving for that? Get your sourcing team together, you solve that, procurement team work that out. Hey, I'm having an issue, my quality is not being met. We keep failing at the last step of the process. You get your quality team together. So like once you understand that each element of supply chain has its own bucket, it becomes a lot easier to chew on or to digest and to work through. That's been my success in aerospace, right? Being able to compartmentalize each pieces and speak different languages. I think you guys know the breadth and depth, right? So for me, it's all about the breadth, right? The depth, it will take time to get to that level of depth of knowledge and experience. My focus has been the breadth, right? How can I build my breadth across supply chain, supply across the operations, across the aerospace professional to have that breadth, and that's been my goal. That's what I kind of focused on. So I went from aerospace to enterprise, to consulting. Really being able to understand different topics, different insights in different areas. That's what I've done for the most part in my time.
Nah, and I appreciate that. And I think that really shows how you're able to diagnose a lot of different operational problems as if you come across in your career path. A lot of people love to like move quickly into strategy, but what does why do you think that why do you think operational depth really still matters? I know you talked about it briefly in your response, but talk to me a little bit further, expand a little bit more about that.
I mean, good question. I think when I went from industry to consulting, I had the option to go straight into consulting out of college, right? I could have went as analyst to work my way up, but I chose to do industry first. And I think the thing there that made it, different for me as a consultant was having that industry experience, right? So when I would go to the consulting engagement or to the big conversation with the C-suite or executives, I'm speaking from experience, right? When I would solve the issue that they're dealing with, I can relate to the shop floor. I can say, "Hey, your solution is great, but it's not gonna work, and here's why." I can say, "Here's the gap that you have to solve for." I think for me, so it's good to have, the surface level knowledge. Hey, I can talk about different products, SAP, right, Ariba, but when I can give you an example or use cases that says, hey, when I was in GE Aerospace on the shop floor, having supply chain issues or planning issues or forecasting inaccuracy or stuff like that, here's how we solved it. and here's that ties to the solutions I'm offering you. That build the confidence, the credibility, and what I'm saying to the companies and what I'm proposing to them. So I think it's really good to have breadth, right? Because if you just depth is great. I'm all about you can do either or, do both. But for me, breadth really allows you to expand your scope of knowledge, your span of control. Hey, if I'm working at a one site, another site needs me over there, I can go over and swing and support. If I'm working as operation leader and our program manager is out for leave or whatever, hey, Kenna, can you tap in over there and I can understand how to run that group? So I think it's really helpful to understand, the breadth and how do you manage that. But there's people who like to do stay in one area and build their core competence and grow in there. That's great as well, right? You become that SME, and no matter what happens, if I'm not meeting my spec, I can call Rob. He can solve it for me, right? But my career has been pretty much I went the route of the breadth and different topic and different areas and different knowledge, and that's really what I kind of focused on, and that helped me in my consulting days, right? I can say to a firm, "Here's what I've been through." I can install the pain points without even talking to the operators. I can list out a list of things that you can encounter, and that helped me a lot, specifically on change management. Right? If you're anything about consulting, you're anything about enterprise change or strategy, if you don't have a good change management in place, it will not be successful. It will be harder to be successful. Let me not say it will not be, but you have a lot of tough time with execution without change management, and that's where my experience and my breadth comes into play in saying, "Hey, this will solve a problem, but here's how you introduce that solution, how you manage it." Follow me?
No, I absolutely follow you. And they always say like being a jack of all trades is really not the best, I guess, use of people's time these days. But I still feel like it is very useful as you're expanding your leadership scope and leadership experience.